The United States military is widely regarded as the most capable fighting force in the world. For decades, it's held a clear advantage in power projection, technology, and global reach, but many people don't fully understand why the US holds number one position and how fragile the position become if key pillars begin to weaken. Today on Global Military News, we're breaking down the three pillars that keep the United States at the top, and what could happen if these pillars begin to fail. As I mentioned at the start, the foundation of the US military's dominance rests on three core elements, which are 1. Alliances, 2. Overseas military bases, 3. Influence through military equipment. Together, these pillars allow the United States to operate on a global scale unmatched by any other nation. They extend America's power far beyond its borders and multiplies its strength through partnerships and presence. However, even if one of these pillars weaken or collapse, the US could begin to lose its dominant position far more quicker than people expect. Now, let's have a closer look into each pillar, but before we do that, make sure you check out our news website. It will be linked down below. The United States benefits from one of the largest and most powerful alliance networks in history. Organizations like NATO, AUKUS, and numerous defense agreements give the US access to shared intelligence, combined military forces, and global support. These alliances allow the United States to project power far beyond what it could achieve alone. In many regions, American forces operate alongside trusted partners who have trained together for decades and share common military standards. More importantly, alliances act as force multipliers. They ensure that any major conflict would not be fought in isolation. If the United States military lost support from its allies, it could cause issues for a future military response from the United States. Without these partnerships, the US military would be strong, but far more limited in its reach of influence. Allowing for other nations to grow their influence in regions, this would make the US struggle to keep its influence up from such a distance. The second pillar of the US military power is a vast network of overseas military bases. The United States maintains hundreds of military bases around the world. That allows the US access to key regions like Europe and the Middle East to Asia and beyond. These bases allow the US military to respond quickly to conflicts without needing to deploy forces from the mainland. Every time a situation develops, aircraft, naval forces, ground units can already be positioned close to potential conflict zones, cutting response times from weeks to just hours. Overseas bases also support logistics, training, and intelligence operations. They serve as a hub for resupplies, maintenance with allied forces. Without them, sustaining long-term operations and projecting power across oceans would become far more difficult and costly. If the United States were forced to withdraw from large numbers of their bases due to political pressure, budget issues, or regional instability, the ability to influence events overseas would be reduced. Again, allowing for other nations to grow their influence and create real issues if the United States wanted to respond and support an ally. The third pillar of the US military's dominance is influence through military equipment and defense technology. The United States is number one in exporting advanced weapon systems and supplying allies with aircraft, missile defenses, armored vehicles, and naval platforms. By equipping partners with US-made systems, Washington is creating a long-term military relationship. These systems require training, maintenance, upgrades, and shared operational standards, tying allies closer to the US. This influence goes way beyond sales. It allows the US to influence how other countries respond in conflicts and how their militaries are used. This pillar depends on trust and reliability. If allies begin to question the US commitment or turn to rival suppliers, America's influence would weaken over time, losing the role as a primary military supplier, making it difficult for the US to control what other nations do in conflicts and who they side with. These three pillars form the backbone of US dominance. None of them operate in isolation, each pillar strengthens the other, creating a global system that allows the United States to project power and support allies worldwide. But this system is not permanent. Allies require trust. Overseas bases depend on political stability and long-term commitments. Influence through military equipment relies on reliability, innovation, and continued leadership. If one pillar weakens, the others will come under pressure. If multiple pillars begin to fail, the balance of power could shift faster than many expect. What do you think about all this? Has the United States been taking the right steps to protect these pillars, or has damage already started? Thank you for watching, and make sure you follow Global Military News on all your social media platforms so you never miss anything. And make sure to check out our website down below with all the social media linked.